We're back with another Diablo Immortal update and all of the details as we go through today's patch notes, which have a very Halloween theme. Survive sinister haunts in Hallow's Wake. I'm going to be bringing you through all of the things that are coming with this upcoming update, which is very soon. We're going to talk about balance changes. We're going to talk about returning events, cosmetics that are coming, and changes to Shadow Wars, which many people probably want. All right, getting into the guts here. This is all starting on October 11th, which is only 2 days away from today. Now let's get into the details of the events. We are going to have the Hallow's Wake holiday event, Hallowed Thorns cosmetic set, returning events, claim the Underwinged Darkness cosmetic set, feature updates, and then, of course, bug fixes. Love the artwork that Blizzard always brings to all of their games. That does not mean anything different for Diablo Immortal. I just love how they make everything look so gloomy and Halloween themed. We have a whole bunch of lore, the story about what's going on inside of the realm here, which you guys can read upon yourself if you want to. I'll leave a link down below. What's important, though, is on October 18th through November 2nd, the boundary separating the living and the dead grows paper thin. For a short time, two realms fuse into one for Hallow's Wake, where dastardly demons and spectators run amok. Basically, if you're a level 30 or above, you're going to be able to eliminate enemies in the world that you are farming in or playing in, and you're going to get Hallowed Stones, which can be turned in for rewards. 10 Hallowed Stones is going to get you the first bump animated emoji and a random legendary item. Speaking of emojis inside of the game, I don't feel that they're very relevant. I feel like we only use them in chats and we don't use them that much. I would love it if Blizzard were able to make the emojis pop up next to our characters' heads in the open world, not just in the chat. If we were able to use animated emotes in the open world that people could see if they were near us, I think they'd be much more relevant inside of the game. Just a side note. 20 Hallowed Stones. We're going to get a Frightening Rod cosmetic and a Telluric Pearl. Love the Telluric Pearls. 40 of them and you get yourself a 2-star legendary gem or a 2 out of 5 star. This is the cosmetic I would assume right here. Look at this 1099 Paragon. That's impressive. I think that may be a developer's build. 30 Hallowed Stones, a random costume chest, a legendary crest, and a random legendary item. The costume chest can contain one of 3 costumes, which will reimagine you as one of the living dead. Each player can only acquire one costume chest through playing Hallow's Wake. Here's what they look like. This is the Grave Robber. I like that. A bright green. We don't have anything like that. This is the Royal Guard. That's cool looking too. You definitely look like a Royal Guard. And here, oh, that's the one. Skeletal Mage. I'd like that one, please. That's a cool looking cosmetic for sure. Wonder if they're cross-class. They did not. I wonder if they're cross-class, first of all, and I wonder if they're... here it is. All rewards from Hallow's Wake will be usable 14 days after you initially acquire them, but will remain in your inventory and can be used again. Oh, but will remain in your inventory. Oh, it looks like we will be able to keep them. The emoji can be used year-round, but will revert to a non-animated emoji after its duration. Why would they unanimate it? That's weird. All right, the Hallowed Horns cosmetic set. This is going to be available from the 18th through November 1st. It can be acquired by orbs, and it is going to be 1,000 orbs. So this is going to be a class specific. If you buy it on your Blood Knight, you keep it on your Blood Knight and your Blood Knight only. Hallowed Thorns cosmetic set. It does look very cool, and we'll get a little bit better of a look as we get a little bit lower here. Here we go. This is the Hallowed Horns. Here we go as well. Hallowed Horns right there. The Collector's Bundle, which is going to give you a cosmetic and the portal. And then the Deluxe Bundle. What is this? This one looks really nice. I like the purple on there. Looks a lot better than this one without any bright colors. I just like bright colors, I guess. The Deluxe Bundle is going to be 4,500 orbs, though. But here we go. Ornamented Hallowed Horns Cross Class. This means you could use it on all classes. Plus a portal. Cross Class. Cross Class version of the Horns cosmetic. Cross Class version of the Horns portal. 3 additional gifts. Terrified animated emoji, Hallowed Horns banner, and Hell Knight's costume. This is actually cool. 4,500 orbs. I would have to do my math on that, but I believe that's 15, 30. That's like $75. I could be wrong there. Let me open up my game while we talk about this, and I can get a closer look as we get in there. But I believe it's that. We will revisit. You could tell that I don't really buy many orbs because I don't even know the standard price of them, but we will revisit that to get the actual price. But 4,500 orbs for a cross-class cosmetic, which is actually really nice. I like it. And here we go. That's once acquired, the Hell Knight costume can only be used for the next 60 days, but will remain in your inventory after the event ends and can be used again in the future. This means, what I'm assuming is, these cosmetics that can be used for whatever, 60 days, they're probably only going to be usable during Halloween. All right. So during the Halloween times, it would probably become available to use again next Halloween next year. Kind of cheesy, but at least we know. Now, as far as orbs go, as I go into our shop, for 1,500 orbs, it's $25. So 1,530, 4,500 orbs. That's going to cost us, I mean, for 6,000 orbs, actually 7,200, it's $100. So it's going to cost you about $75 for this cosmetic set, which is cross-class. Now, when you think about that and we compare it to the events that go on where you have the odds of getting something cross-class, this is half the price, less than half the price. So we're going in the right direction right there. Returning events, Trial of the Hordes. Happy that that's coming back. We're going to be able to play that one from the October 13th to October 20th. Very cool. All clans on deck. Always down for that because we're able to get rewards for doing things we already do. That's going on from October 14th through October 22nd. Hungering Moon, again, an event that we all know. And do we love it? No, we know it, and it happens, and it gives us extended rewards again. That's going on from the 21st to the 27th. And yes, my friends, Wild Brawl is making a return. This is only going to be the second time that it's in the game, and unfortunately, it's only going to be in the game for 1 week's time, for 7 days. I do like what Blizzard's doing here, how they're rotating these more free-to-play type events inside of the game. Are there maybe ways where you get a slight advantage if you are a big spender in the game? Possibly. That's still up for debate, I guess. But I'm really happy that Wild Brawl comes. Then we have a different mode, and then a different mode, and they continuously cycle through the game so we don't get bored of them. And it's just kind of exciting when they return. So as it sits, I think we could probably expect Wild Brawl, which is personally my favorite, to return every month. Every 4 to 6 weeks, we could probably expect to see Wild Brawl back inside of Diablo Immortal, which is awesome. All right, now we have the Umber Winged Darkness cosmetic set. That's a cool looking one right there on the wizard. Let's see what this is all about. One of Hell's gifts will be returning to the Ether. If you purchased any digital edition of Diablo 4 prior to October 17th, you have until March 31st to redeem your Uber Winged Darkness cosmetic set for Diablo Immortal. The cosmetic can be redeemed by logging into Diablo Immortal and clicking on the corresponding in-game mail notification. Sweet. So any of you that played Diablo 4, pre-ordered it, you now have the ability to, oh no, not pre-ordered. Just purchased any digital edition of Diablo 4. It's been linked and you're getting yourself a free cosmetic. It doesn't say that it's cross-class, but a lot of times when we do get cosmetics for like Diablo 2 Resurrected, it was cross-class, except for on the Blood Knight because the Blood Knight wasn't there yet. You were able to get a cross-class cosmetic, even for pre-ordering Diablo Immortal. So we'll see if this one's cross-class or not. My gut tells me it is, but I could be wrong with that. We're not really sure. Feature updates, class balance. They've adjusted multiple things. Let's read the developer's note. With the newly added additional 30% damage reduction to Blood Knight, Necro, and Wizard have been overperforming in terms of survivability. Additionally, the internal cooldown of the Arcane Wind Breeze Legendary has not been long enough for PvP combat, given the duration of freeze, and we are increasing cooldown to lower its potency. So my Blood Knight, no, getting a little bit of a nerf there, it seems. Solemn Snare, Shoulders, Swarm of Bats now shrouds you in a fog of blood mist, increasing your movement speed and making you untargetable while also dealing damage to nearby enemies during... That's the skill that I use. I love that one. The duration is decreased from 2 seconds to 1.6. Come on, man. All right. Necromancer, Borrowed Time, cooldown increased from 30 to 35 seconds. So Necro and Blood Knight getting a little bit of a nerf. The replay dungeon option. A new replay dungeon option has been added to parties added for parties of any size. You know what's funny? In the developer update for Diablo 4, they talked about how you can teleport, and now you would teleport not to the opening of a dungeon, but inside of the dungeon. And I was thinking, why don't we have the ability to just play again in Diablo Immortal? But we always get put back outside the dungeon. You have to re-enter. This looks like it's actually attacking that. Once your party has reached the end of a dungeon, the player who clicks, taps, exit the portal will have the option to invite their party to run the dungeon again. If the whole party accepts, they will be teleported to the beginning of the dungeon. This is great. It saves you just an additional loading screen and time having to leave and then go back in. Very good. This is not available for players who are grouped together using random dungeon finder. Interesting. Item combat rating. Combat rating for items has been revamped. Items with more attributes will have a higher combat rating. Item combat rating will not increase in Paragon levels 880 to 900, 980 to 1000, and 180 to 1100. Because combat rating of items has increased, the difficulty of the Reliquary Gauntlet in Inferno 3 has also increased. So this is cool, actually, because what I've been finding is sometimes you'll get an item that has 2 attributes, and it'll have higher combat rating than one that has 3 from the same Inferno level. And it'll be cool because then I'm like, oh, do I want to give away the 3rd attribute so that I can get the higher combat rating? Oftentimes I won't. But now it's nice that the ones with 3 attributes will be getting that higher combat rating. Shadow War, we did mention that there was an update to Shadow War. This could be big. Let's take a look. We made a couple of updates to Shadow War. A barrier has been added to the spawn's entrance to prevent players from being killed there. Good. Spawn camping I always hate, no matter what game. The time to prepare for a match has increased from 5 to 10 minutes. Matches begin at 7:40 server time. So we are getting that additional time back. A lot of people complained. I didn't actually love waiting in there for 10 minutes. I guess I could have gone later, but never want to be late. Very punctual. So we're getting that 10-minute timer back. So Sacred Guardian movement speed has been increased. Okay. Shadow War rewards are now sent to the player via in-game mail. Those changes don't seem massive, if you ask me. And are the rewards still just aspirant keys, which I didn't think that was a great reward, to be honest with you. Aspirant keys are great, but I mean, it's something about getting a special legendary or some XP, you know, that's cool with Shadow Wars. I don't know. Challenge Rift monsters. In Challenge Rifts, monsters will no longer return to their starting point after moving too far away. Oh, that's good. You know how when they get too far away, then they just run back and you can't target them? We sought to improve the combat experience of Challenge Rifts, as this is a mode where players have great capability to express their skill and knowledge, allowing players extra freedom in how they manipulate monsters with less worry about losing monster groups because they return to their starting position should make for a more dynamic gameplay and enable players to push their builds to the limit. I like this. I could see yourself going, me with my Blood Knight, just running through a whole bunch of enemies, having them follow me, circle up a bunch, then have about 50 enemies around me, going invincible, pulling health from all of them, throwing them in some darkness and taking them all out without having to worry about them scurrying back to their spawning spot. I like that. Paragon trees. Players can now quickly fill out nodes on Paragon trees using a new quick add function. We hope this feature update leads to less time spent on this menu and will make resetting your Paragon points a breeze. This is cool. I wonder if it's going to be like a full fill for each dot, or if you can completely fill a full Paragon tree. Because I know I have about 5 Paragon trees that I just fill out completely, and then the rest I will, min-max. So cool that something has changed here. And inventory, low-level fabled wisps can now be destroyed. We believe this change will provide players with an increased inventory management options. Yeah, sometimes you have those like 2 or 3 fabled wisps that you'll never be able to use again for anything. Also, a new cosmetic tab has been added to the inventory. The Hallows Wake costumes and fishing rod and other items that temporarily alter the appearance of your character will be stored there. That's nice too, because a lot of times we have stuff in there like the temporary cosmetics or like the fishing rods that they should have their own slot. And what I assume is Blizzard expects to bring more of those types of things to the game, being that they are going to make a full new tab for it. That's the update. Let me know your thoughts of it down below. Remember to subscribe so you're up to date on everything Diablo Immortal every single day. Thank you, Red October, for shooting this one in my direction. I'll see you guys tomorrow.